Subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss an update from eTimes TV.
Trolls will troll. Let them do what they want to do. It's like that scorpion and the frog story. They can't escape their character. Oh, I went through this. So I was very conflicted because I was turning 39 and, I wanted to freeze my eggs and I've not had a baby and there was all this thing. And then I finally got some guidance and I froze my eggs. Today, it's perfectly okay to also not have children. Adopt. There's enough in this world, So I think more people need to go out and talk about this. That it's okay for women to not have children. That is not your only calling in life. Listen, my mother keeps telling me to have a baby and don't worry, you don't have to get married. She's been telling me this since I was 19 years old. Not even 19. Since I was 10 years old. Honestly, I think nepotism is a rubbish argument. Firstly, it's a fancy word that people are just using out of context a lot of the times.
So welcome Tanisha to eTimes TV. Glad to have you today. This is Sukarna. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good, Sukarna. Thank you for having me today. Am I pronouncing your name correctly, Sukarna?
Yeah, yes. And having done other reality shows like comedy shows, you have been as a guest. You have done
Khatron Ke Khiladi. I did Khatron Ke Khiladi after that. It was harder. It was harder than Bigg Boss. Much harder than Bigg Boss. But I think we should talk about Life is Short. You're nicely taking this conversation into all spaces. But yeah, it was much harder than Bigg Boss. My God, Khatron Ke Khiladi was but it was amazing. It was great. I loved doing that show. It was great fun. And we had some great people on the show, and you really fight a lot of battles and you fight a lot of battles with yourself. It's amazing.
But inching this much closer to being a winner, do you feel that wish you had been the winner?
Of whose? Which winner?
Bigg Boss. Bigg Boss.
No, she played very well, though. I always say. She played very well.
So, will you now ever take up another reality show or host a reality show if given a chance or an opportunity comes your way?
I think the social media is a beautiful reality show that we're all already hosting. Isn't it? I mean, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Facebook, it's a beautiful reality show that you're all already hosting. Every person today is in their own reality show.
Talking about social media, actors or mostly actresses are susceptible to trolls, on and off on their pictures or for their work, what they're doing, what they're saying. They are often discussed and always, most of the times they get trolled. Have you faced such things in the past or for any of your pictures?
Honestly, Sukarna, I have to say that trolls are trolls. They're literally trolls. You know what a troll is? It's a little ugly, little trolly kind of creature that is in the fantasy world. You know what trolls are, na? They're those ugly creatures in all those what are those movies that came out? Beautiful films of all the fantasy worlds and all. So Lord of the Rings and all. You know what the troll is, na? That dirty creature. So why would you bother about them? Trolls will troll. Let them do what they want to do. It's like that scorpion and the frog story. They can't escape their character.
Also, I must say that you are looking fab as ever. How have you reinvented yourself over the years? Please tell us about your transformation.
I'm not reinventing myself. I'm transforming. I'm constantly transforming because life is about transformation. The more you grow, the more you transform, the more you evolve. So I'm not reinventing anything. I'm becoming myself.
I mean, at one point, some of your social media, we saw you literally you have worked out a lot and lost oodles of weight at that time. What was that? Tell us about your journey at that time.
Oh, I went through this. I was very conflicted because I was turning 39 and, I wanted to freeze my eggs and I've not had a baby and there was all this thing. And then I finally got some guidance and I froze my eggs. But then I also put on a lot of weight after freezing my eggs because they pump you in with a lot of progesterone. So it bloats you a lot. You didn't put on weight. I didn't actually put on weight. But I became very, beautiful when you become all round and glowy and all that progesterone. It's just beautiful. It makes your skin look so stunning. And I love pregnant women. I think they're the most beautiful women in the world because they're just glowing, that baby glow that they get. So I froze my eggs at the age of 39 and I was very, very happy that I did that. But after that, I needed to get fit. So I think I went on this hardcore regimen and I started working out with a lot of people. I was doing Pilates. I was also doing this program called the 21 with Aoife Shroff, where, it was like a mind, body, soul kind of, thing where she did yoga and weights. And I got introduced once again to yoga. So it really I've always been a very physically fit person. I've always been into working out. I love it. I actually relish it and enjoy it. And I think if you do it correctly, you will never get injured. So food is another thing that's very important to me, to eat correctly, to live correctly. So when I say correctly, I just mean according to your body. I don't mean that there is any right way of doing it and all that. I don't believe in saying that. But I say, become more aware of your own body. Awareness is the first step. So I think that's why I got a six-pack in that process. So I was like, great. But then you can't maintain a six-pack. Let's be honest. You cannot maintain a six-pack. You have to keep killing yourself. And as women, we cannot drop our body fat down to that level where, it's not, you can do it for a little while. But then after that, you have to become little, normal again. Because it's not healthy for you to do.
It's very inspiring, and like women, when celebrities talk about normalizing things like motherhood, freezing eggs, like not following the societal norms, how has it been for you? Like you said that you wanted to freeze your eggs and you have done so. Talk us through this.
I wanted to freeze my eggs at the age of 33. But when I went to the doctor, she said to me, and I remember, she was the same doctor who actually finally froze my eggs. But it was so funny. Why she stopped me from doing it at 33 was because she's like, if you're not sick, because it does take a strain on your body to do it, right? So do it when you have no hope of actually, like when you're young enough and you don't have the hope of like the baby or whatever. So it is a strain, but I think it's a personal choice. If you want, and today it's perfectly okay to also not have children. Adopt. There's enough in this world, So I think more people need to go out and talk about this, that it's okay for women to not have children. That is not your only calling in life. And it's okay to not want it, and it's okay to not be married, and it's okay to not be in a relationship, and it's okay to not define yourself with a man beside you. It's okay. And I don't think so. My grandmother, and that's the stupidity, that back in the day, the women were much stronger. They did not define themselves with the men. Somewhere in the middle, we've gone wrong. Because my grandmother was an amazing, strong, powerful woman who I don't think ever defined herself with a man. So I think we're all just going back to being ourselves.
And during these decision moments in your life, how has your mother and your sister supported you?
Listen, my mother keeps telling me to have a baby and don't worry, you don't have to get married. She's been telling me this since I was 19 years old. Not even 19. Since I was 10 years old. She was like, you don't have to get married to have a baby. You can just have a baby. So my mom has always been very, very supportive and my mom has been very progressive. My mother is a very forward-thinking woman. She's not somebody who's living in the past. And that's what I respect and value about her. And even my sister, they're very strong women.
And how's your bond with your niece and nephew? How do you spend
But
time
I
with?
think it's lovely because I always believe that the bond with your nieces and nephews are a reflection of your bonds with your sister and in-laws and all of it, because children take from the parents. So I think I'm very lucky that I have such an amazing sister who has allowed me to have this relationship with her children.
I mean, you're
And
the cool
they're
Masi.
amazing. They've made very good babies. I keep telling them to make more. I keep telling them, please make more babies.
And you are the cool Masi.
Always. I'm always the cool Masi. Aren't I the coolest?
Yeah. And tell us, during this pandemic, how did you keep yourself occupied and have a
Ooh, lots of
positive state
crochet.
of mind?
I started crochet. I developed a new talent which I didn't know I had, which was crochet. So we learned crochet in school as kids. And then suddenly in this pandemic, I picked up my crochet needle and I started watching all these YouTube videos and I started creating. And I think man was built to create. We were built to create things. But look at this world we've created. So now what we have to do is we have to fix the world we've created. We have to create beauty instead of destruction. So yeah, I was busy with crochet. I was busy with working out, eating right, chanting, spiritual. Just because you're alone. When you're alone is the best time for you to work on yourself. It's like God was like, here, take this time, do it for yourself. When you always complain, oh, I'm too busy. I have to do this for my mom or my sister or my husband or my child or my this one or my that one. Now you have the time for yourself, and you were like, here, this is what matters. Clean your house, cook your food, take care of your dogs.
So I'm saying in the industry, when right now there's a lot of talk about like star kids getting favored in films, like nepotism. If we talk about, you have been breaking taboos by taking things in your own stride. You are working it in your own way. You keep yourself away from the limelight also at times. Work on yourself. How do you get this wheel to and not get bothered with?
Honestly, I think nepotism is a rubbish argument. Firstly, it's a fancy word that people are just using out of context a lot of the times. And it is a rubbish argument. Because in today's industry, if you're not working hard, you're not being seen. It's hard work. You think, yeah, there's pros and cons to everything. The ones who don't make it big the ones who are not star kids and who make it big in the industry will be like, oh, it was so difficult for us to get our first break. But then they don't have to deal with the preconceived notions that the whole world has. Like, अरे ये तो धर्मेंद्र का बेटा है, इसको तो धर्मपाजी की तरह होना चाहिए, या ये तो तनुजा की बेटी है, उसको तो तनुजा की तरह होना चाहिए. No, they come with a blank slate. So that's a huge benefit in our industry also. Yes, there are a lot of cons also. I'm not denying it. The pros and cons, but I honestly think that in today's industry, nepotism is a rubbish argument, because if you're not working hard, I mean, even when Alia came into the industry, she was given so much slack. She was really given so much slack, and she has worked so hard, and I think she's one of the most talented children. She is super talented as an actress. And if she wasn't this talented, she wouldn't be where she is. She lights up the screen. She kills every one of her performances. And you're telling me she's only making it because she's a star kid. What are you saying? That's you can't. It's a rubbish argument. I'm sorry. Even a Ranveer, you see them on screen. They light up the screen. They break through their performances. They work so hard, whether it's a Varun, and there are non-star kids who are making it also. It's not like they're not. So It's a rubbish argument. Don't ask me this question. It's a rubbish argument. मैं तो nepotism की number one होनी चाहिए थी. I've got Rani on one side, I've got Ajay on one side, I've got Kajal on one side. I've got Ayan also in the family. I'm number one poster child for nepotism failing. Now, I'm the number one poster child for, you can say that, I'm the number one poster child for nepotism failing. So all those people who are screaming nepotism, please look at me and then talk.
You have carved a niche for yourself, and that's how like you have broken all these taboos, and that's amazing.
Of course. I think in today's world, it doesn't benefit you to shut up about things. It does not. Yes, people will talk shit. People will definitely, I'm sure people will have a problem with what I've said. But people will also be like, okay, you know what? Some people will be like, she makes sense. So it's a give and take. And it's not, it's a beautiful time in this world to be out there and speaking your mind, because people are having these conversations, opening up, talking about it. That's what's important.
Okay, thank you so much for giving us your time.
Thank you.
Great talking to you. And stay safe. Wish you all the luck.
To you too. Thank you so much, Surana.
Thank you.